Alright, so I'm going to do this without a microphone. I got my microphone in the storage unit. Sorry, people. But this will be my first time doing a review with YouTube. And, well, actually, no, it's not, because we did Salt Flats. But this is going to be in reference to the hotel we just stayed at. And I really wouldn't make this YouTube if it wasn't for the last conversation that we had there. And I'm going to put the link inside the review that I put for the Amish Inn. And I also going to break many rules, okay? Because usually I do not put a bad review on places that's less than 3 stars. I've usually tried to just ignore and not put them out there. But this one I am going to drop it down. It's going to be less than 3 stars. And to be point blank, I'm only doing this because of the confrontation of the supposedly hospitality person behind the desk. Okay? I would love to say that everything there went great. However, here's the first thing I'm going to point out. We slept great there. The bed was good. The cleanness of the room was good. Yeah, you're 5 stars all the way through everything until the last confrontation. And that right there alone is what dropped you all the way down. Alright? Nobody behind any counter of any type of business at any point in time should tell the consumer that, well, maybe the Amish Inn is not for everybody. Quote unquote. Not said once, said more than 3 times to me as I explained some things I disliked about the hot breakfast. Our only complaint was going to be over the hot breakfast. Everything else there was great, which would have led into why we didn't feel like it was worth $12 more than what the other hotel in Nappanee is at for us also. Okay? So, if the hot breakfast would have been great, then I would have probably said, yes, that's worth $12 for the room stay extra. But it's nowhere close enough anymore because of the confrontation. Alright? And that confrontation is what will make us staying at the Amish Inn the least location that we will stay at. Okay? I will never say that we will never stay there, but I will say this much. We will not go back there as a first, second, third, fifth, or 20th choice, because there are 20 other hotels within the vicinity area of Wakarusa where we work out of. So we can go to 20 different ones, but they may be the 21st decision that we make. So, just putting it out there. Now, to help people understand what really went down and how this hotel is really nice and is really a good place to stay if you're not looking for the hot breakfast. As it got said to me after we got told over the phone on there, I was like, I understand you guys have a hot breakfast, and I was told, yes, we serve a hot breakfast. Okay, cool. Well, number one, served was not the key word, because it's not served. It's guests have to fix their own breakfast.
Speed camera reported ahead.
It is continental breakfast. Okay, as the front hostess pointed out to us in this confrontation. Okay, when we checked out, she was very rude. I'm sorry, straight out. Okay, I understand how some people don't have the hospitality capabilities in this world. All right. And how some people just have a job. She's that person. There's no hospitality behind her at all. Okay. She's the type of person that is, this is my job. You're going to come in and check in. I'm going to do your check-in. You're going to check out, and that's it. Have a nice day. Get the freak out of my face. Okay. That was the attitude that was the perception that we took from her over that last point. And literally on our check-in with her, no, it was really much the same thing. It was just, hey, here's your stuff, boom, boom, boom. There you go. That's the room down there. And like I explained to her, I even came back to correct her. She goes, yeah, it's just a couple doors down. It's halfway to the middle of the hallway. Our room was all the way at the other end of the hotel. What'd you say?
What do you call a happy cowboy?
I'm afraid to ask. What?
A jolly rancher.
You're so cute. I love you. Alright, yeah, wife had to jump in there with a, what do you call a happy cowboy? A jolly rancher. There you go. Alright, so let's be truthful about this. Okay, let's get to the point of this person. I mean, even when I corrected her with that, she acted like it was no big deal to her, that she didn't care whether or not it was at the beginning or the end of the hallway. It was where she said it was, and that's all that mattered. Lady, you're going to have to learn how to be smiling and happy and understand you're not correct. Okay, you're not right. No, we're all shepherds on this land to actually learn from each other and grow and prosper and make the land green, which of course we're failing at, but in either case that's another story. But let's be realistic here. The point of it is that we booked, and the reason why we booked at the Amish Inn was I heard they had a hot breakfast. Alright, from 2 or 3 other drivers who booked also at Countryside Inn, and they said their hot breakfast is the reason why they go there. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's get into what the hot breakfast is and where my issues are at. Okay, coming from the background of restaurant business, okay, and dealing with the Board of Health. So my references is from what I was trained and taught from selective people and doing this, and those inspectors who came to our business and did the inspections and things like that. Okay, well, here's the point. They have several selections of cereal, which is great. Okay, I love their selections of cereal and oatmeal. That was all beautiful. I love the factor that they have things laid out really nice and neat. Okay, it is organized, it is clean. There's no complaint about any of those. My complaint happens to be is that they have a fridge there. Okay, it's like a wine fridge with a glass door on the front, but it's a regular fridge. Sits on a counter. So inside that fridge, they have the folded eggs, which is omelets. Now, I understand they're purchased that way, from some hotels. They're purchased that way, and then they're just thrown inside of a warmer and heated up. Okay, which is great. There's nothing wrong with that. That meets all the requirements because they're frozen before they're actually cooked. And on their original packaging, it plainly states, keep frozen until cooking. Alright? So, in the fridge, they've got those things inside of a sandwich flip top bag. Now, this is a sandwich bag that's a flip top like you used to put your regular sandwich in when you went to school. And we all know that when we finally got to our sandwich at school, that outer layer of that bread was always nice and crusty because of it was dry. And that's the way it works. It's not a sealed product. All right? And I personally have dealt with Board of Health over that sealed product terminology. All right? So that's where my first thing is, that they can, even though she swore up and down they just were inspected and no, everything passed and they don't have any problems. If that Board of Health reached in there and grabbed hold of the first 6 of those egg holdovers, I can tell you the 4th one back is as hard as a rock. Now, was it hard as a rock because it was still partially frozen, or hard as a rock? No, because it's dried out. I didn't get into it. I just stuck my hand in there and felt the packaging, and I was like, I'm done. Then they have a waffle sausage sandwich that's in there, and on its packaging it plainly states keep frozen. Well, it's in a refrigerator, well thawed out, moisture all throughout that bag. Oh, by the way, inside the egg bag also there was moisture in it. Okay, moisture throughout that bag of the waffle egg. All right, so that was another deterrent. Then you get over to the Jimmy Dean sandwich, okay, breakfast sandwich. Now, they look like they were purchased from the grocery store and taken out of the box and just put in there. And their package, it says keep frozen, but it also says may be refrigerated for 7 days. Okay, I'll give them credit. That could be refrigerated for 7 days, but here's the funny part. Where's the date on it that they put it in the refrigerator? There's no date on it. It is a paper plastic sealed package, so it is in a sealed package at least, but that does mean that it's in that specialized packaging, so that way the moisture will escape and not stay in. And why is the moisture an importance to me? Is because in the elements of learning about food, you learn real quick. Mold needs 3 things. 1, it needs a source. That's the food. 2, it needs air. That's fresh air rotating across it. Okay? Feeding it. Not just stale air, not just the sealed package air, just fresh air. Alright? 3, it needs moisture. So every time something creates moisture, which is if you cook something and put it in the bag and put it in the fridge, it will moisturize, and right there creates the mold. Okay? That's the reason why you don't do those type of things. You always let things cool down on your counter before you put it in your fridge. Get to room temperature and then close it up. And now cut down the moisture that shows up in it, and it also cuts down the mold that starts. Okay? So there you go. I'll give you one more little tip about something. People don't realize this, that the minute that pizza is cooked, the cheese on the pizza creates a mold within the first 3 minutes of it coming out of the oven. It has already started to create a mold because cheese carries its own moisture, therefore it creates its own mold instantly. However, it takes several days before it actually formates, I forget what that word is, but becomes an actual full mold to where you can see and choose not to eat. Okay, so yeah, that's one of the things about cheese. In either case, so, and yes, these omelets had cheese. Just to give, so that's where I sit at as far as that's concerned. Because I didn't like that, that would have been my 1-star deduction for this hotel. And they would have, and I would have given them 4 stars on their review. But because I was willing to say, hey, I've really what we didn't appreciate was the hot breakfast really wasn't a hot breakfast. It's a cold breakfast we have to fix. Therefore, it's not really a hot breakfast for the people. I mean, you already have oatmeal. You can just have oatmeal and say you have a hot breakfast, okay? Because you got to put oatmeal in hot water, and there you go. You got your hot breakfast. All right. And the funny part is that I would say over 90% of all the hotels we stay at has oatmeal in their packaging, and therefore they could all claim hot breakfast, but they don't, because the terminology hot breakfast means that there are eggs and bacon and waffles and things like that that's done. And let's point, and here's some other points about this. The Amish Inn has the space to have a pancake maker and a waffle maker there, and they would blow away competition by just having those two items. And those two items may cost anywhere between a couple $100 for the waffle, and I think the pancake maker's sitting up there around $400-500. But it's an expense that will keep on giving to them more than they can imagine. And if they wanted to buy those eggs and do that, then fine. Go ahead and buy those eggs. Do like some places do. Leave them in the freezer. Monitor how many's inside of a warmer that they set up. They actually have a warmer, and they didn't even use it. They have a warmer sitting on their counter, and they don't even use it. The thing of it is that you could put the eggs in the microwave, heat them up, throw them inside the warmer, and the warmer will finish the rest. Just heat them up to where it breaks the freeze off of them and gets them into a lukewarm type scenario, and then the warmer will cook them the rest of the way, heat them up, and literally, if they only did 3 to 4 a day, how much money are they losing by throwing away 1 or 2 that weren't eating? I mean, simple. But no, this is where I put the term laziness in it, and that's the reason why I would have cut them back to 1 star, cut them back to 4 stars, cut 1 star off, making them 4 stars for the factor of that. But because I had to deal with Susan, the hostess, and I didn't see Teresa. Teresa was very sweet and very nice, and I told her that I'd give her my full review after we stay, right as we go check out. Unfortunately, she wasn't there, and she even acted like she was happy to even hear what I had to say. And I told her, I said, there's a couple things I don't like, but yet we'll see how that works out over the next night. And I came across and she showed hospitality to want to hear what I had to say, whereas Susan showed no hospitality and complete ignorance to the consumer who pays her paycheck. Like, I don't need you here, coach. No wonder your hotel doesn't have that many people staying in it. Alright? Okay? No wonder every time I go to book at Countryside Inn, I've got to figure out and book ahead of schedule so I can get a downstairs room. Alright? So, literally, every time we drive by the Amish Inn, there's only, 2 cars there, and there's 3 employees? Think about that. Alright? There's only 1 housekeeper that's there a day, practically. There might be 2, but yet. So that gives you an idea. They don't have the clientele. That's because they don't have the hospitality the way I look at it. And that's why I'm putting 1 star on them. That's the reason why they don't get voted in the Nappanee's business stuff and things like that. Alright? So there's a lot of things here. However, it all boils down to the one thing. Now, what was great there? I loved the internet connection. The internet connection was great. Now, was it great because there wasn't hardly anybody staying at the hotel? I don't know. I can't say that for sure. But I can tell you this much. I had a 25 down and a 53 up. Okay, and I tested 6 different times over a 2-night stay. Alright? It was great that it constantly stayed on. I cannot complain about the cleanness of it because it was very clean. It was very well organized. I think that they didn't have enough tables and chairs sitting inside the dining room, along with enough decor in the dining room. It left it very blank. And as my wife pointed out, that's the Amish look. Okay, alright, fine. That's the way it wants to be. I like to sit down and feel like I'm at home or something like that. I'm comfortable. I feel like somebody's treating me as if I'm at home type scenario. The TV wasn't on half the time inside the dining area, so walking by or sitting down in there, you have to get up and do all this yourself. Yeah, okay, somebody's going to call me lazy. Tough shit. I pay damn room service. I pay for room there to have these hospitality things there. Okay. Yes, I did get up and turn the TV on myself. Yes, I did put it on the Weather Channel. Okay, so I don't know what's going on here. Something else is going on. But anyway. Yeah, Google's responding to me for some reason. Anyway, so this is where I have to give Countryside Inn more credit. Okay, and yes, I'm going to post this video on both of them and let you know that Countryside Inn, the downside I have at the Countryside Inn is just their internet. My internet connection constantly drops there, and so that's where I run into my only problem there, and that's why I'll give them 4 stars. But yet, other than that, they're a 5-star hotel. They don't have a hot breakfast. Oh, wait a minute, yeah, they do. They have oatmeal. You can put it in hot water and you have a hot breakfast. All right. But they don't claim that. They don't claim that at all. They don't misrepresent anything. And if you have a complaint there, I can tell you personally, I've told them what I dislike, and they've smiled at me and gave me acceptance to saying, okay, we'll take a look at it. We're working on that too, or we'll do that, or we'll do. And they don't just say that because we've stayed there enough times that we've showed back up, and I've even heard them come back and say, hey, you made a comment about such and such. We've taken care of that. Hey, cool. I am thankful for that. Okay? That's hospitality. That makes you feel like you're checking in somewhere that somebody cares.
Watch out. Vehicle on shoulder ahead.
So, yeah. Hence the reason why the Amish Inn will not be our choice. Due to the hospitality now and due to the hot breakfast. The internet was almost worth $12 more a night, but not quite. So, yeah. We will cut it at that. Alright, people. Peace, love, and jelly beans. Don't forget to hit subscribe, like, dislike. You can hate me all you want. I'm Tex. I'm going to say it like I see it. Doesn't make it right, doesn't make it wrong. Just says this is the way I see it. Can my mind be changed? Everybody that knows me and literally knows me personally knows that my mind can be changed. Because, like I said, we're here as shepherds to learn. Okay? Peace, love, and jelly beans. Y'all have a good one.